Good morning, students. Today we will start our class with the NCERT question in which they have asked you that why oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are separated in case of birds and mammals, higher animals, and why there can be little mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in case of amphibians and reptiles. The answer is simple, based on energy requirement. If you in case of birds and mammals, they have got two separate halves, like this portion is for oxygenated blood and this portion is for the deoxygenated blood, and they have got a separate halves, and these two halves are divided by a septum. Why they are divided, why there is no intermixing possible? Because they want energy. They want energy, their energy requirements are higher. For better and faster energy requirements, they need to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. If there is mixing, intermixing, then they will not be able to give the oxygenated blood to all body cells, because when oxygen reaches to its destination, that is cell, then only oxidation of the food and release of energy happens. If deoxygenated blood, like the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide or the blood which is rich in oxygen, are mixed together, it means quick supply of oxygenated blood cannot happen. Okay, so just to give the quick supply of oxygen so that we can get large amount of energy, this separation is required. And why our energy requirements are higher? Because the birds and mammals, they are warm-blooded animals. Warm-blooded animals means the animals, those who have to maintain a fixed body temperature. Their body temperature does not depend upon the temperature of the environment. But in case of amphibians and reptiles, they have got three-chambered heart, and little mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated can take place because their energy requirements are comparatively low. And basically they are cold-blooded animals. They need not to maintain a constant fixed body temperature, because for maintaining a constant body temperature, warm-blooded animals need higher energy. They have got higher energy requirements. So that's why the blood of mammals and birds have got separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. The reason is energy requirement and warm-blooded animals. Now we are done with the first topic, that is transportation in animals. Why to forget plants? So today's topic will be transportation in plants. In case of plants, transportation is quite simple. They have got vascular bundle, that is the connective tissue for the transportation. Vascular bundle, as you know, it is made up of xylem and phloem. Xylem is a conducting tissue. As I said, it's a conducting tissue. It means it is further made up of 4 types of cells. And phloem also is a conducting tissue. Tissue means a group of different cells. Xylem helps in conduction of water and phloem helps in conduction of food. In case of xylem, the conduction of water is from the root to the leaves. Leaves are the kitchen of the plant. And when the xylem conducts the water from the roots to the leaves, that time it does not require any energy or in the form of ATP. So this process of water conduction in xylem is said to be a passive process where energy is not required. But in case of phloem, energy is required when it conducts food from the kitchen of the plant, that is leaves to rest part of the plant. That time energy is required, and it is a kind of a active process. Okay, because the difference between conduction of water by xylem and conduction of food by phloem is very important, and short question in this portion. Now see, xylem is a conducting tissue. It is made up of 4 types of cells. I will provide you one flow chart also with the notes. So xylem, it has xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers, then tracheids and vessels. On the other hand, the phloem, which conducts food, it comprises of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. So here it is xylem fiber and xylem parenchyma. Here in case of phloem, it is phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Here these two are main, that is sieve tubes and companion cell. They help in conduction of food. And here these two have got the star role, that is tracheids and vessel. They are important for transfer of water. Fibers and parenchyma, they have got the secondary function basically. Fibers are for giving the strength to the plant, and parenchyma, xylem parenchyma, helps in sideways conduction of water. Sideways means lateral conduction. And in case of phloem, the phloem parenchyma helps in lateral conduction of the food. So once again I am telling you the difference between xylem and phloem. I will also provide you one flow chart that is not there with this presentation. So xylem, it comprises of 4 different types of cells: tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Main are tracheids and vessel. They help in conduction of water. Xylem fibers provide mechanical strength to the xylem, and xylem parenchyma helps in sideways conduction of the water. Then in case of phloem, it comprises of 4 different types of cells, namely sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Again, sieve tubes and companion cell, they are main out of these 4. Their role is in conduction of food basically. Sieve tubes does not have any nucleus, and nearby companion cell. Companion means friend. Why it is called companion cell? Because sieve tubes, they don't have nucleus. So who will help in performing their role? Just nearby them companion cells are present, and they do have their nucleus, and they help out sieve tubes in conduction of food. Okay, so these two basically help in conduction of food, and sieve tube is being helped by the companion cell which is just nearby it. Then phloem parenchyma, it helps in conduction of food but in lateral conduction. Lateral conduction means if food is required sideways, so lateral conduction is done by the phloem parenchyma. It also stores food at the same time. Then phloem fibers, again for basically mechanical support. So this is the difference between xylem and phloem. Now this is the difference between xylem and phloem. Basically not a difference, but the main points are being written here. Now see, as I told you, xylem is made up of 4 types of cell, that is tracheids, then vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. This one, xylem fiber, is considered to be dead. This one is living, and these two are considered to be dead. So we say in case of xylem, all 4 types of cells, out of all 4 types of cell, only one is living, that is the xylem parenchyma. That one is living, rest all are considered to be the dead. But in case of phloem parenchyma, in case of phloem, you see it is made up of 4 different types of cell, namely sieve tubes, then it has got companion cell, then phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. This we have done earlier also. So out of these 4, this one, because fibers are always dead, so this one is considered to be dead. Okay, this one is dead and these 4 are living. Okay, so this is also one of the difference between xylem and phloem, that in case of xylem, out of 4, that is tracheids, visuals, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber, tracheids and visual, they are dead, they are considered to be dead. Only xylem parenchyma is living, only one cell is living. But in case of phloem, sieve tubes, companion cell and phloem parenchyma is considered to be living and phloem fibers are considered to be dead. So this is the difference between xylem and phloem. Hope you like the content and revise well. Thank you.